Welcome to the Stuff and Thangs podcast. Your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Stuff and Thangs podcast. I am Sam. Joining me as we launch Stuff and Thangs 2.0, it's my partner in crime, it's Stefan.
Hey, we're back. Now, is this technically episode 1 or is it episode 2.1?
I'm just going to call it 1.
Okay.
Yeah, because, and by the way, I did used to get emails quite a lot where people were like, quite enjoyed the show. I feel like because I'm new, I missed a lot of the running jokes. So I kind of feel like this is a perfect time, like a jumping off point and a kind of welcome point where I say, welcome to the show or welcome back to the show. Because we could very well have some new people joining us and them thinking, what the hell are they talking about? So a little bit of history to kick off with. We have been... or this show has been going since 2016, and we started purely talking about the Walking Dead franchise with the spin-off Fear the Walking Dead Season 1, then into the main show, and just sort of continue with that. Stefan and me expanded the show beyond that to talk about just all sorts of stuff and all sorts of things that we enjoy from movies and TV. But what we found, which is kind of crazy, is we would go maybe a month without a TV show or a movie that we talk about. And so the show would just, no new episode for like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 weeks. And then other months, we'd basically be doing 4 or 5 shows a week because there was so much TV and films we were watching, and that was exhausting.
Yeah, I remember one week it was like there was an episode of something from Marvel on a Wednesday. On a Monday it was House of the Dragon. On a Tuesday or something it was The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Oh, it was, and then I think it was like a Star Wars show on a Friday or something. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was, and we were going a bit cross-eyed. So what we decided to do is change the show format. So from this moment on, this is why Stuff and Things 2.0. We will be doing an episode per week. So every single Friday you will get a new episode from us. You will also get the occasional special where we will want to perhaps dive into a show or dive into a movie just on its own like we've done in the past. But we'll be doing that not episodically but in a kind of, hey, we watched the final season of Stranger Things, for example. I've done that podcast on this show with my daughter up to now, and she's made it abundantly clear to me she is doing that again for the final season. So there will be a special 1 week of Stranger Things when that show is finished, just us talking about it. And, you know, obviously there'll be the Christmas special we do every year, Halloween special, because that falls on a Friday this year as well. Look how that worked out.
Nicely done.
Yeah, pure dumb luck. And also, each week we're going to talk about the things we're watching, talk about stuff that's ongoing, you know, things we're looking forward to, things we've watched and maybe we were looking forward to it and then we're a bit like, But we're also going to try and tackle topics. You know, nothing totally crazy, but just kind of, you know, I was just thinking, as I said, tackle topics like this week, politics. Oh,
yeah. Global warming will be episode 3.
We've solved that, by the way. Episode 3 just nailed it.
No, we're going to be more of like a weekly entertainment podcast.
Yes. So to give you an example, just kind of like a title for next week's show. Here you go, a sneak peek. Next week's show, which would be show 002. See, people could have, you know, they could have worked that bit out, I think. Episode 001 today, 002 next week.
Are we going to keep up the 00 part, or are we just going to at some point go episode 7?
I'm gonna keep it in the written format, And the main reason is because episode 7, as you just said, is 007, and it's going to be all about James Bond.
Makes sense, yep.
So you know, when we get to episode 069, there's a real filthy episode planned. But, you know, that's months away, so we don't have to worry about that. But, yeah, so next week, the topic we're going to tackle, and we're going to sort of dive into and talk around and things, is the MCU done? Because if you read a lot of online stuff, you view and listen to a lot of the kind of influencers, that's the right word, you'd think that the MCU is just done, dusted, everything's failing, it's trash and all of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to discuss it. We're going to talk about those views, how valid they are. We're going to talk about the arguments for, the arguments against. We're going to give our opinions. And that's going to be the general discussion of the show. So that's going to be the format. The title of the episode every week is going to give you an idea of what we're going to be talking about. And we're just going to... I mean, anyone who listened to us before, so if you're new, you'll get used to this. But if you've listened to us before, you will know we struggle to stay on topic.
Tangents are well known.
Yeah. So we're going to try and do this kind of like, hey, here's our talking point, and you just know it's going to go off the rails. So that's the general idea each week. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. So yeah. So that's the kind of where we are with everything. A little bit of show admin then to kick us off, because we did take a hiatus for quite a long time. The reason for that was my health. It's not something I'm going to talk about on the show, but I'm doing better now. And thank you to, literally countless people who messaged and emailed. I will say it's quite funny though, and you'll like this, is the tone shifted. So like, when we initially announced we were going to go on hiatus, you know, be off, the first week of emails and messages were really kind of, is everything okay? By week 2, the tone shifted to like, I hope you're okay, and, you know, hope things are better soon, looking forward to you being back.
Yeah.
By about week 4, it was like, where the f*** are you guys? Why aren't you doing the show anymore? You know, and it just turned, like, you know, really kind of, where the hell are you? I you know, I don't pay any money for this show, I demand it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so that was nice. It was nice that we were missed, but it was kind of funny to me how the mood shifted.
Talking of the people missing, I want to do a very quick early shout out.
Yeah.
To Becky, Holly, Mikey, Ryan, and Samantha, who in our Discord chat have been kind of keeping themselves going, asking when we're going to be back, talking to us still. With the change of the way that we're going to be doing the podcast, I am going to have a bit of a reshuffle of our Discord channel that we've got, where you basically, it's a big online chat room where people that are interested in all the same kind of movies and shows, we're all in there chatting to each other. You can talk directly and easily to me, Sam and Kaylee. We're all in the chat itself. There will be, at the moment, you kind of go on there and there's like loads and loads of sub-rooms for each Marvel show and pretty much every show we've spoken about.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on there and just tidy it up a bit to make it a bit more easy topics to jump in and out of. So the Discord link is always in the descriptions of each episode. So if you do want to jump in and talk to us and talk to other like-minded people that enjoy the same shows, feel free, click the link in the description and come join us.
Yeah, please do, because I know when we pushed this before, a lot of people had a kind of perception Discord's like a gaming thing, almost like a lot of people like viewed it as like Skype. But we operate this as a basically like a chat room for you to come in and discuss things with us. And yeah, it works quite well. I mean, it's kind of fun, and you can, like Stefan just said, you can interact with us kind of directly, which a lot of people like to do via email. So this would be more like a more instant way of doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm crap at replying to emails, but I'm not the best.
He's not much better on Discord, to be completely honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
But yeah, like it's all text based. You haven't got to worry about joining. There is actually an option on there I found. I can't get rid of it to join a voice chat room. But
okay.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know how to get rid of it, so it's just there. But it is all kind of text based, and I want to try and get a bit more involved on the Discord as well.
Yeah,
so.
well, hopefully some more people might take a look at that, because it is just a fun way of interacting.
We get some good debates on there as well.
Yeah, we have, especially around Apple TV shows. That one really kicked on. Like that was kind of like, who likes this one? Well, what about this one? Yeah, that was fun. So admin wise, and that's why we were away. We're back now, and like we said, we took the time to kind of think of maybe when we come back, we're going to change the format, which we are. But when we left, we did actually leave 2 shows up in the air. So I thought this first episode to give us the opportunity to kind of give our final thoughts on those 2 shows.
Nice.
For everyone who's kind of doing that. So we're going to kick off with The Last of Us Season 2. We'd kind of covered the first couple of episodes. I think we got to episode 3. I can't remember before I was taken out. And what was interesting about The Last of Us Season 1 when we were doing the show, there was me, you and Kaylee on that one.
Yes.
And Kaylee came to it as very much a type of show that's not for her. A genre that she typically would have avoided. And although she shouted at us a lot for making her watch it, she really enjoyed it. Like, she really got engrossed in the storytelling.
The emotional roller coaster that show took her on.
Big time, yeah. Now, I had never played the game, but had heard of it, and you'd played it, so you'd kind of like said, "Oh, I'm really hoping this is going to be good." So I watched it from a just purely watching it TV point of view, and similar to Kaylee, I got completely sucked in. And the kind of key thing for me, their storytelling and the writing in season 1, I thought was just incredible. You know, there's that one-off kind of bottle episode with the guy who's the prepper, and it's just this kind of love story with him and someone he saves, and it's just amazing. And it was like, wow, that hit me like a ton of bricks. And like at the start of this episode, I didn't even know who these people were, and by the end of it, I'm grieving like hell. Like that's good storytelling. So season 1, but the main thing for me was the relationship between the 2 main characters. I thought that the 2 of them, because they start with him being she's cargo, to the end him being like she's my daughter. The kind of the journey that they went on was amazing, and I loved it.
Yep.
You obviously played the games, so when you watched season 1, I'm not going to speak for you now. You had a kind of similar view to ours, but also a bit more as well, didn't you?
Yeah, so I kind of had played it quite a while beforehand. It's one of, someone who classifies himself as a gamer, I'm not a very good gamer because it's one of the few games I've actually completed.
Yeah.
I am phenomenally good at starting games, getting halfway through them and finding another game and starting it and getting halfway through it. I'm awful for it.
Not just finding another game, it's getting bored and wanting to start again. Your Football Manager career is just like 6 months in. Every now and again you'll get one you kick on with. But
I've got one game at the moment. I'm like 4 seasons in, which is really impressive for me.
wow, that is nuts for you.
But yeah, I am known to have a slightly shorter attention span than I should when it comes to these things. I think I can count on one hand the games I've actually completed. The original Hitman, Lego Indiana Jones,
Lego,
Marvel Spider-Man,
okay,
The Last of Us. I think that's it.
That's
it.
Considering you are a
I'm
gamer,
34 years old. I think I got my first games console when I was like 9. I've completed 4 games in my life.
Have you ever been tested for like those attention deficit things?
Bipolar, ADHD. I think I've got them all. I've got a collection.
maybe.
Like Pokemon cards.
I collect them. Yeah, I want all the letters.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. So you were saying about the game and the show?
But yeah, I loved that game so much that I actually had completed it.
Yeah.
And I still hold it in one of the highest regards as one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah.
So to make it a TV show, I'm like, oh my gosh, there is a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
Being completely honest, they only really got the TV show because of how loved that game was. So therefore, there was big shoes to fill. And every episode of season 1, I get to the end of the episode and I was like, oh my God, that was amazing. I'm getting bits that are happening in the episode that I watched that first series with my wife and my in-laws.
Yeah.
And we're getting like halfway through an episode, I'm like, I can't believe they actually put that in. That's amazing. Or, oh my God, she threw a rock. That's a nod to something you could go in the game. Oh, it's amazing. You know, the whole way through it. And it was just brilliant TV. Like, the way they portrayed the relationship between them, everything was fantastic.
Yeah.
I then heard season 2 was coming out and was like, oh my God, I've not played the second game. So now I'm going into this exactly the same as you and Kaylee were.
Yeah.
I know of it, haven't played it. Unfortunately, I knew like the one big spoiler for this second season.
Yeah, everybody did. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everyone knew what the spoiler was. I knew it was there.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, we're going to do it. Let's do it. And I was really excited for season 2 to start.
I will just say, just very, very quickly, we're discussing The Last of Us Season 2, and then we're also going to discuss Andor Season 2. Spoilers. I mean, if at this point you've not watched them and you're listening to us, apologies, but I'm just going to say it. Obviously, we're going to be discussing spoilers for this show if you've not seen them. So, sorry, mate, carry on.
Well, this is the fun part. When you say spoilers for season 2 of The Last of Us,
Yeah,
we did 2, maybe 3 episodes on the podcast.
we did, yeah.
I haven't seen any more episodes.
Oh, wow. Really?
I kind of found the last episode we did, it must have been the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
I found myself watching it to podcast.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't sit down to watch that episode because I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens this week. Here we go. This is going to be great. I sat down with the kind of the attitude of, oh, it's 10 o'clock at night. Bollocks, I should really kind of watch this before we podcast it tomorrow.
Man, see, now,
And-
so this is going to be interesting then, because I was planning on doing like a summary, but I don't want to spoil it for you.
No, you crack on with the summary because I can't guarantee I'm ever going to go back to it. I think the story writing difference between season 1 and season 2.
Yeah.
I generally now. I'm going to be careful with how I word this,
Pussy.
and I'm going to leave it open for you to edit if we need to.
Okay, go for it.
My jump-off point for that whole show
Yeah.
was, I'm going to be a dad.
You're not alone in that.
That was the moment. Now, I kind of was like, that seems really like a strange kind of thing, that she's this absolute rage-filled character who I am not going to stop until the people that killed Joel are dead.
Yeah, but she
And in
wasn't.
one episode, flips completely to, oh, I'm going to be a dad. I mean, let's not even get into the whole, no, you're not being a dad thing. Let's just stick with the story writing compared to, I get Mikey, who's in our Discord chat. He's played the second game.
Yeah.
And I was chatting to him about it. And he was saying it makes no sense. Like, in the game, she turns round to the character and goes,
She's angry.
you're now an inconvenience, basically. Muck off.
Yeah.
You've
she's
made
angry.
this more difficult.
Yeah, you've now made it, so I got to worry about that as well.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
You're now an obstacle. I am leaving you behind.
So I'm going to break this down into a few different points.
Yeah.
The first thing is the topic around her saying I'm going to be a dad. This was interesting to me because we discussed this a little bit on the show before we finished it, but just going to touch on it now. So I have a close friend of mine since school who's married, a lesbian couple with children. They've adopted. Well, they adopted one, and they had another one, sort of surrogate based. Details I don't need to know, but anyway, they got 2 kids, And she loves The Last of Us Season 1, right? Loved it. Listened to our podcast. As she should, by the way. Friends of ours should be listening, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
Agreed.
Anyway, yeah. When she messaged me after that episode and just went, "What the actual was that?" And I was like, "Oh," because that bit, like, I was just like, "Oh, well, the episode was," like, I hadn't focused in on that one bit. And she said to me, "You have no idea how insulting that feels to a mum when there's two mums."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm a straight white guy, you know, I for me, there's certain issues I know I can have an opinion on, but I don't know, I've not lived it, so anything." So when she said that to me, I was like, "Oh, wow, that's a point of view I hadn't even considered." I just thought, "Oh, that's dumb. You know, that's silly." And the other thing that came to my mind straight away, which is probably the same thing you went, which is, that's rage bait. Like, when you've written that, you know you are going to set off and trigger a load of people.
Like,
and you've
you
done
can
that
almost
on purpose.
read in your mind the online comments from what has just been said.
Yeah. So you've done that on purpose. You know when you've written that line, oh, that's going to set a lot of people off. And you've made the decision to do it. Now, don't get me wrong. If you've written something and you think it's the right thing to do and there's a reason you've written it, people's reaction shouldn't impact it. And I get that. But you know. However, you know. So when she said that to me, my friend, then I was just like, yeah, that's a perspective. Like, I just thought, oh, that's dumb, and that's going to cause so much grief. Like, because you and me are very similar.
Yeah.
We'll eye roll at things, but we'll
both middle-aged white blokes. Yeah.
Yeah. Me slightly worse than you, but just we will tend to, like, eye roll, maybe say to each other, "Bloody hell, that didn't make a lot of sense," but whatever, and carry on.
Yeah.
But we both also know that if this is in shows that we really like, think The Acolyte was Star Wars, we're watching it, enjoying it, and then we hear a line and you think, "Oh, that's all anyone's going to talk about." Like, this show's been amazing.
Yeah.
And then that one line is all, and, like, true enough, we were spot on. You know, like, the episode finished. What's the online reaction? Oh, you're all focused on that one line. Of course you are.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So with this, that was where my head was, but her perspective I thought was so valid and so kind of like, oh wow, yeah, that's a really good point. And then when I was online looking at reactions, the actual community, if you like, that this would have been geared towards, that this would have been kind of like, hey, we're with you, were angry about it. And so I'm looking at it thinking, what have you done? Like, inclusivity in your writing and characters, etc. Yeah, I get it, but when you're upsetting, like if you think about it, the left are annoyed and the right are annoyed, you're wrong. You've got that wrong. Unless
so
you're news,
because I correct me if I'm wrong, but the lead character, the actress, is gender fluid, non-binary.
I believe she has stated that, yes.
Yeah, so you've already got an audience where most people seem fairly split on that already.
Yeah, it's already a divisive issue around the world.
Yeah, and so those that would have been supporting that, you've now alienated with one line. And you're kind of like, why did no one in any point from writing that on the page to watching that edit back not go, this might not be the best idea?
Yeah, I do think as well, and I'll stand by this with this. I do think that sometimes when it's written, and even when you're looking at it, if you know the meaning and the way you're doing it, like, so for example, the delivery of that line completely changes it. Like, so for example, if she does it completely laughing her ass off, oh, I'm going to be the daddy, you know, whatever, it can be very funny. That line, you know, because there is obviously a dad involved and she's kind of seeing him as a bit of a rival. So if she was to be like, well, I'm going to be the dad, do you know what I mean? There's loads of context to that line that could be, and it's just funny, it's just fine or whatever.
Yeah.
But the way it was delivered in this very heartfelt, I'm going to be a dad mode, it just, like I said, it just seemed to annoy people. And you said about that, you kind of just like rolled your eyes to a point of like, where is the writing gone on this show? So much so that you've not watched the rest of it.
No, because I knew that character from season 1, and I knew that character in season 1 would have stopped at nothing, and nothing would have got in her way. And all of a sudden, that episode ends with them kind of on the horses cuddling up together to ride off, and I'm like,
so this is the
that's
second
not how
part.
it should be.
So the second part to this, which is interesting, is you've not seen the remaining episodes where she does go after a few people. But again, I have never played the game, so I cannot speak to this with authority, but the general reaction and feeling was, whether it was the writing, the direction, or perhaps the acting in this, they never got that out of control rage from moment one to... In fact, a lot of people seem to feel that Dina had more of a connection to Joel than she did. And I think they made a decision based on Ellie finding out what Joel did to have her not be as rage-filled, because I think they wanted to make her a sympathetic character, and they feared perhaps if she was on a killing spree, people wouldn't see her as that. They'd be like, well, you're just as bad as the others then if you're going off killing people.
And that's... Again, I've not played the second game, but that sounds like where they've gone wrong, because they're overthinking that storyline instead of just going, right, the game did this, this and this. Ellie did this, this and this. Her motives were this, this and this.
Yeah.
Done. That is your base material.
Yeah.
To then go, I don't know if it... let's try and give her a bit of a story arc where she does this instead.
Yeah.
For me, I'm like, no. That's like...
My understanding...
If it had got to the end of season 1...
Yeah.
And I knew that Joel was going to absolutely rip through the Fireflies to save Ellie.
Yeah.
But actually, in the TV show, Joel sits down with the leader of the Fireflies, explains everything to them, and instead they just take a couple of vials of her blood to test it, and then they're all fine. Yeah. I'd be there going fucking mental, because I'm like, that's not what happens. A big
scene, you're missing out on a big thing.
And it kind of felt the same sort of thing in this.
Well, again, and so to move on, and it's kind of tricky because I know you've not seen it, the ending of this season resets the timeline, and you're going to follow basically the events of season 2, but from Abby's perspective.
See, now that might be more watchable, because I quite liked the Abby character. I liked her motives. And she did what she was meant to do.
That's interesting, because I didn't understand her motives at all, and I thought they didn't do a good enough job explaining it. Maybe they will in the 3rd season.
I hope so. It does seem, you killed this one guy, so I'm now going to kill you. But actually, that one guy was about to kill a child.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely A-okay.
Yeah, so Joel ripped through them all and killed the Doctor. The Doctor was Abby's father. Yeah. They bury the Fireflies, including her father, and Abby swears she will avenge his death. Okay, I can understand that motivation. That makes sense to me. However, we are in an apocalypse where just going outside, walking past a plant, could get you killed. Like, literally, you are in danger 24/7 in this world. And I'm supposed to believe that this character, with a group of friends, I think 4 of them, decided that they would spend years tracking down one person in that wasteland, in that threat, to kill him for revenge. Like, to me, like, that's where the logic point... Now, in a game, in a video game, 100% makes sense. You're playing the game.
Yeah.
But when you transfer it to this, the time it took, the level of work it would have had to have gone into it, the amount of danger she would have had to have faced, at no point did her friend say to her, seriously? Still on this? Like, the guy's
this
probably
one guy,
dead.
Really?
Yeah, the guy's probably dead. Look at the world. Like, and if he ain't dead yet, he's probably suffering somewhere or dying somewhere slowly. Let's just try and live our lives. And it just, like, for me, season 3 might really cover that really well, and I might look back at this and say, oh, okay, all right. But right now, I don't even know if I want to watch season 3, and I'm not alone. The viewing figures from episode 1 of season 2 to episode 2 dropped by 50%.
Jeez.
Now, you often get a drop-off. Now, this is live viewers, by the way, in the US.
Yep.
But you often get a drop-off, the premiere episode, whatever, but not like that. That's off a cliff. It then continued to drop between 30 and 40% per episode. So by the time the finale aired, and this is, for me, the most damning statistic, at the start of the finale, the live viewers was 1/10 what the premiere episode was, and it dropped by 50% during the episode, meaning that people put it on and half of them didn't even watch the end. They switched it off.
That is... Oh, man. That is damning, isn't it?
It is. Now, you look at
wow.
those statistics. Now, that's live viewing in the US. Now, obviously, global numbers, people, those people who switched off might have been like, right, we're going out, stick it on record. I'll watch it later, whatever. But that is the worst. And I think when I read the article, it was an article on the Hollywood Reporter said it is the worst second season performance of any show that has been renewed for a third season. Like, there's never been a show that's performed that badly and been renewed.
Yeah, that
and when you look at the budget
imagine
for the show as well,
50% of people literally getting halfway through and going, I just can't do it.
The finale as well. Not just like a mid-episode where it's like, oh, do you know what, I'll maybe, when they're all out, maybe I'll binge watch them. This is the finale, and people got that bored, or that just rolling their eyes at the writing.
I don't even care how it ends, just turn it off.
Exactly, just end. I just want it to be ending. So it is insane, the numbers and the drop-off. So when it comes to a season 3, and keep in mind, one of the big issues I felt, and you felt as well, they just took too long to get to a season 2. And they're already talking about, season 3 is going to take it's going to be 2 years as well. So you've had that level of drop-off in the viewership, and you're going to take 18 months to 2 years before the next season again. The show's dead, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's too
long. I just don't see, I just don't see how they're going to save it. And I feel they've... poor decisions in the adaptation, in my opinion, is why. Like, you looked at the game 2, the whole story of it, and they tried to mirror it in the show, and it just didn't work. You should have told the story linear. Like, because there's a flashback episode, which is about episode 5, I think. It's the best episode in the season, because it's Joel and Ellie being the Joel and Ellie we all knew from season 1, and it tells the story of how she found out. So,
whereas that should have been episode 1.
Episode 1, man. Yeah. Episode 1, that is what it should have been. It should have been telling us, linking directly from the end of that, and you could have used it, because the episode is a flashback and it's time jumping through, like this year, then that year, then that year. Would have been a perfect episode 1. Because by the end of it, you'd have completely understood where their relationship is, and you'd have also had that perfect get back into the show thing. It's been 2 years. You needed that bit of kind of breathing space to be like, hey, it's Joel and Ellie again, brilliant. Rather than episode 1 on this show, it was, why is Ellie being a dick to Joel?
Yeah,
like,
and that's exactly what it was. And it was knowing that Joel was going to die, which probably cost them quite a few viewers anyway.
Yeah.
Which I find it difficult with that, because the show only got a show because of how much everyone loved the game.
Yep.
And I've just spoken about how when you change something from the game, you're going to lose people. So they had to kill Joel off. They couldn't have done anything else but kill Joel off.
Yeah.
Because of the game, and that is what sets up all the events.
Yeah.
However, to do it in the way that they did it, you're kind of watching it going, but Ellie's going to be the main character and she's just being a dick. I don't care if she lives or dies at this point. I care about Joel's character.
Yeah.
But if they'd have done that flashback episode as episode 1, and then episode 2 you're going, she's being a dick, but fair play, she's got a reason to be a dick.
That's my point. I feel that was the biggest mistake in what they did, because also you had that incredible battle scene at the town. Ellie and Joel should have been part of that. Like, you did that one episode with that incredible battle, plus Joel getting killed. Like, that was like 2 episodes of storyline rammed into one that took from each other, if that makes sense. Like, that should have just been an episode, man. And it would have been incredible. Like, you have that first episode explaining everything, what they use as a flashback. Then episode 2, something goes wrong on a patrol, that huge herd come to life, the town fighting, everyone fighting for their lives. You're watching it like, oh my god, is so and so going to be okay? And then you have the slow build where everyone who's played the game knows what's coming. People who haven't are like, oh, this is good. Joel and Ellie, they're starting to repair their relationship. Maybe they're going to be okay. And then bang, you lose Joel. And Ellie is then, because she was starting to forgive him, she was starting to listen to him, and then she watches him get killed. She is then a rage monster, and it would all make sense then. But the way they did it, it was so all over the place, and after waiting 2 years, it was difficult to watch. So overall thought then just on that is The Last of Us Season 2, ultimately I just felt really disappointed.
Where's my klaxon? Button. That's what I need.
It's a massive no for you.
Yeah, it was, unfortunately.
Now, as much as that was a massive no for us, Andor Season 2, for me, was a massive yes. For me, they got everything decision-making right, and
I still don't know why we saw dancing at a wedding. I'm throwing it out there from what I said in that podcast. I still don't know why I was at a child's wedding watching dancing. It was still, that bit was very confusing. However, that season finished as probably some of the best Star Wars content we've ever had. So, up and down.
I said this to you at the time, and I'm going to continue this argument with you. When you think about season 1 of Andor, you think of it as an excellent show, yeah?
Yep.
There were parts of season 1 that were as slow and as weird as the wedding scene in season 2.
Yep.
When you think about season 2, if I just said to you, was season 2 any good? What are you going to say?
Bloody brilliant.
Yeah. So, to me, when you've got sort of an X amount of episodes and you're trying to build characters and you're trying to do different things, there are always going to be bits that are slower, always going to be bits that are a bit kind of, okay, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Now, I, at the time, said, that for me was just a massive tension thing. There's dancing and everything, but that's the layer here. But under that, there's the Mon Mothma's best friend from childhood. She's basically just got killed. And she's there at her daughter's wedding. And she's got to keep smiling because she's surrounded by ISB and Imperials, and she can't let on anything. And yet you've got the person who stresses her out most in the world is there, basically saying, well, he needs to die,
So, I'm killing off that guy that you love. Yeah, bye.
Exactly. The kind of subtext of all of it. But also I think that was important because she must have hated Luthen a bit from that. Must have been very angry at him. And then later we get the reveal that Luthen planted, her aide worked for Luthen, which sent her into a rage. And then she had to choose who she trusted between Bail Organa's people and who Luthen was sending, which of course was Cassian Andor. And she obviously chose Cassian, and he got her out. But that scene, I think,
it was the correct choice.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, you chose wisely. I think with that, the context of all the slower stuff earlier helped build when we got to that for the tension. So I'm still happy with all of that, even if you're not. But those scenes at the end, those final episodes, which we didn't get to talk about on the show, if we just talk about the final 3, where we go from the the massacre on Gorman, to him getting her out of the Senate, to then the finale, which those 3 episodes, I think, and I'm going to say this to people, if you're a massive Star Wars fan, watch those 3 episodes, because you've probably already watched this, but watch those 3, like Star Wars Day, and you're going to watch some Star Wars. Those 3, Rogue One, Into a New Hope. Trust me, you'll love it. It is one
I will still stand by and say, hand on heart, we never, ever, ever needed that very last scene in Andor. There was no need for it. I did not need to feel like that at the end of that season.
That was. I was gonna finish with it, but let's do it now.
No need at all. That was emotional. We didn't need.
I will openly admit on this show, as that show was ending, then we've got this montage, and we know, everyone who's watching this, that Cassian's now on his way, and all the events of Rogue One are literally next. He's jumping in his ship, and so the first time we see him in Rogue One is literally the next scene, if you know what I mean. So I am feeling a little bit emotional, because I know he's going to his death. We all know that.
Yeah.
But we also know that his death and what he does literally saves the galaxy from the Empire, destroys the Death Star, all of that. So it's kind of like, what a hero. Is this emotional, like this kind of thing. And the ship takes off and the ship goes, and I'm like, well, that's the end of the series. That's nice. It's going to fade to black. And then it doesn't. It takes us back to that planet, and we see the bot, the droid that I'd been like, oh, they just left him behind, and there he is. And I was like, oh, that's a nice finish. They're showing us that the droid's actually still okay, you know. Oh, that's good. All right.
Yeah, Cassian's off to his death and doesn't realise, but hey, the droid made it. We're okay.
Yeah, no, but it was kind of like maybe they did communicate the droid's being looked after. Okay, and then you see what is clearly Bix walking through the field, and I clocked it immediately. She's got a baby. No, she has not. And I will openly admit it. It was dusty in my room. I had a tear in my eye at that scene. That hit me.
Yeah, I just remember watching it going, oh no, sure, no, come on, no, oh you bastards, no, like Bix, why did you tell him? No.
Oh, if she told him, he might not have gone, and then
if she'd have told him, 100% he hadn't gone anywhere.
Yeah, then the Empire
and then
would
the
have won.
galaxy falls. But I'm like, oh,
baby.
And we know he's off to his death, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, that was some incredible but brutal storytelling. They did loads of like fan reaction to it. I always find it kind of funny because, of course, immediately people are like, and he grew up to be Poe Dameron. I'm like, no, he doesn't need to be. No, just the baby's just his and Bix, and it just means that he lives on.
quite like that idea of it being Poe.
No, it doesn't need to. Like, it doesn't need to be.
No,
like just the fact that we all now know that although Cassian dies saving everyone, Cassian lives on. You know that his child will live on.
What we don't see is that baby is actually Nell or someone from the Skeleton Crew.
Oh God, yeah, Skeleton Crew. Oh, I loved it. Like Andor season 2, the writing for that show and the way it stuck the landing, because that was a tricky landing. I think when you know, like, okay, they're all going to their death.
Yeah,
we need to kind of still show them in jeopardy and stuff, but there was stuff going on, and I was like, I know he doesn't die here, but I am stressed. I am on the edge of my seat. I know he's going to be fine, but
the massacre, like the genocide episode. You're watching it, and I'm like, I know he's not going to die because I've seen Rogue One.
But everyone else around him were dying.
But everyone else is dying, and you start going, okay, this is bad. Like, who is going to die? Who is going to survive? Like, this is going bad.
Yeah.
I've forgotten his name now. The weird little man.
The guy who was like his nemesis, who was hunting him down.
When he finally squares up to him and he's got the gun.
How great was that fight, though?
I've done it. I'm gonna bang. They killed him.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't see that coming.
Do you know? I loved that fight, and the main reason why I loved that fight is it felt real. Like, it didn't feel like two trained boxers or anything. It felt like two people just absolutely throwing hands. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, and what I loved by it is the fact that this guy is all out to kill Cassian.
Yeah.
And Cassian's like, who the fuck are you? Why are you trying to kill me? What is going on?
Broken him. Cyril, his name was
Cyril, that's it.
Mate, don't you think that must... Because he paused. Like, when he said, who are you? And that was what got him killed. Like, he paused and he got shot. That was... But that line, though, was perfect. Because, of course, he wouldn't know who he was.
No, he'd never seen this guy before in his life.
And Cyril had been like, obsessed for years trying to get to him. Oh.
And he suddenly has his chance, and it's just like this rage-filled...
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you with my bare hands, sort of thing.
Just perfect.
Cassian just literally fighting for his life against. He doesn't know what reason.
So the show finished, and instantly people were like, "This was incredible." What a shame we can't get more like this and everything like that. And the guy who wrote it, Tony Gilroy, has said Rogue One and this has been my life for a long time now. I'm off to do other things. One of the other writers on the show, so like one of the staff writers or anything, has an idea for a spin-off. This is genuine. This is out there, and Lucasfilm are doing what they do with ideas: is they're going to develop it and have a look at it and see if they think it's actually a valid idea. The idea is one that I absolutely love, so I can guarantee you it'll never get made.
One of those, yeah.
Yeah, and it is going to follow the character of Clea, who in the very end of this series goes from being background to all of us suddenly realising that basically if it wasn't for her and Luthen, there would be no rebellion. She was literally a massive, massive part of it.
And she was
being a child.
Cold as well.
Oh, amazing character.
When she goes in and pulls the plug.
Yeah.
And you're watching it go, wow, she is kind of like, this is what needs to be done.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea being kicked around, and why I love it, is you follow her, a TV series, through the rebellion. So all of these massive events that we know, because we watch the films, like the first Death Star going, all this stuff, you will have them, but from Clea's point of view. So her as part of the rebel, what little bits had to happen, what little battles had to happen to allow Luke to do that, or to allow Leia and Han to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that idea. One, because I loved her character, and two, I think that could give you such a kind of interesting scope and perspective on, the battle for Hoth. We saw, the big Imperial walkers, the base gets raided and stuff. What about the little people there trying to evacuate and things?
How long had they been on Hoth for, setting that all up before that happened? Or
what
will she be the person that realises that Ewoks are cannibals?
Exactly. She's there at the Battle of Endor at the end going, seriously, is no one else freaked out that they're eating the... No, just me? Right. Fine.
How do you think they're getting the armour, but there's no one left in it? Come on, where are all the bodies, people?
Yeah, there's all the barbecues, all the, Han, Luke, what were they going to do to you? They were going to cook you, remember? That's what they're doing. Yeah, I love that people just didn't put that together for a long time. Do you know, that hit me one day out of nowhere. I wasn't even watching Star Wars, it just suddenly hit me, they were going to eat them. They ate the stormtroopers. They were
literally set up for a barbecue.
Yeah. They actually ate... Oh, my God. I think I messaged you.
Dude, have you ever thought?
Yeah,
no.
This just hit me out of nowhere.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, those cute little furry bastards are just mass
Remember
murderers.
at the end when they have all these helmets made into drums and stuff?
Yeah.
How do you think they got them?
Oh, terrifying.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
World's worst take a kid to work day.
As much as both of us were indifferent for The Last of Us Season 2, I think we're both in agreement that Andor Season 2 was a big hit.
Amazing. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So that is our first... That is show 001 wrapped. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who did get in touch asking where we were and chasing us and stuff. I hope you're happy we're back. anyone who's new to the show, I hope you've enjoyed our sort of chat through these things. Like we said, next week we're going to dive into the question, is the MCU done? We're both MCU fans, so that should be kind of fun for us, because I'm going to play devil's advocate with a few things that I've seen online, like with stuff where people are like just condemning it, and we're going to go through like a discussion on that, and I think we'll have some fun with it. Well, we'll definitely have fun with it, because that's what we do.
I think so. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's going to be a lot to talk about that episode.
Yeah,
a lot of opinions of people that I know that I can kind of bring to it as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's a lot of people like there's a lot of influencers who I think make their money by saying things deliberately contentious to get interaction.
Yeah.
So I kind of ignore them to a point, but then there's also a lot of people who I genuinely listen to, and I always think, oh yeah, that's fair. Or like I might look at it and think, oh, I don't agree with you, but I get your point of view, and that's an interesting point of view. And they have moved from, is it dead, is it dying, have they done too much, to just not even bothering watching. And that, I think, when you hit indifferent, I think that's when you've got to worry. Yeah. More than people hating on it, when you hit indifference, I think it's more of a worry. But we'll talk about that next week. Until then, everybody, you all take care and stay safe. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from him.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Thangs podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Thangs podcast to join in our conversation every week.